Hey, and welcome to all of my beautiful cancers. This is our crystal pairing series where I am just advising of different crystals you can use that align with your astrological placements. And this doesn't just have to be your sun sign or your big three. If you feel strongly connected to any of the signs in your birth chart, this would be a good reading for you. And again, this one is for cancers. Now, I have heavy cancer placements in my birth chart as well, so all of the crystals I will be mentioning today, I have used and experienced the positive benefits in real time. Yeah, I hope you guys can get some good uses out of them too, and let's get started. So, the first crystal I want to discuss is Moonstone. And although that might seem like we're hitting the nail right on the head with that one, Moon is in the name, there are a lot of really beneficial qualities that Moonstone brings forth that helps to connect with the frequencies that Cancer embodies as a whole and can also help amplify their psychic abilities, emotional connection, and just surety in themselves. So, all water signs have a deep connection to their psychic abilities, but I feel that Cancer is one of the ones that really knows how to embody it and use it for practical applications. Moonstone helps to really tap into those abilities and bring a sense of clarity to it, an assuredness, and it just amplifies their connection to their intuition. So they're able to better understand when it's their intuition speaking, when it's their clairabilities versus when it could be the ego or just the mind playing tricks on them. And going back to the name Moonstone, the Romans actually named it Moonstone because they believed it was frozen moonlight that was brought down to earth. The way kind of, if you've seen Moonstone, you see that the rainbows come through it. It's almost like you're looking at that dark side of the moon covered with the rainbow reflection or refraction going off of the moon there. So not only does Moonstone kind of embody those physical moonlight characteristics, but it also embodies just that deep emotional feminine side of us that can help Cancer tap into that side of themselves as well and recognize that their sensitivity is not a burden. It's not something they need to be ashamed of or they need to change, but rather it's something that is truly a superpower that once they tap into it, they can utilize to the advantage of themselves and their loved ones and sometimes even the world as a whole. And not only that, it amplifies all of those things in Cancer, but it also helps to amplify their feeling of protectedness. So they feel safe enough to tap into those senses and use them as a superpower rather than being bogged down by their emotions. As a whole, Moonstone offers a really nurturing energy for Cancer. It brings emotional balance and surety. It decreases stress while amplifying the feeling of calmness and serenity inside. And it's also a great stone to use when igniting yourself on a new journey. It truly does light up the path as if like magic, where it might have been, full of obstacles or unclear where you're going next. Use Moonstone to tap into that, again, that intuitive feeling of I know exactly where I'm going every step of the way. And along that journey, Moonstone really helps to ignite that feeling of self assuredness and self acceptance. So you can increase self discovery and all of those beautiful things that you'll be able to find on your path as well. You become curious for yourself and curious for what the world can bring to you, as is Nelly right now. And as you're being influenced for more self discovery and worldly discovery, it also helps to tap into that creative side as well. So, all of this discovery, you're becoming more and more inspired to just create things of beauty in your everyday life for yourself and for the people around you. I highly recommend Moonstone for all Cancer placements. And again, as cliche as it seems, there truly are so many benefits of utilizing this stone. The second stone that I recommend highly for cancers is ammonite, and this is one that I've worked with for years. I have an ammonite ring that I wear all the time. I have three ammonites at my desk. I have two ammonites in my bedroom. A friend just gifted me an ammonite. I cannot get enough of them because their healing properties are just astounding and truly are tangible when you start to use this stone. Or I guess you could say it's a fossil rather than just a stone. So, ammonite is a deeply grounding, deeply emotional healing fossil that helps us recognize the patterns of not only our traumas in this life, but our past lives as well. So we can pinpoint it, give some awareness to it, and then finally feel what needs to be felt to move through those traumas so we can release them and have more space for creativity and inspiration and love and all of those beautiful things that make life so worth living. And the grounding properties of ammonite help to increase that self confidence, self love, and just feelings of security in our body as we move through these traumas. So, not only are we doing this deep emotional healing, we feel cradled and protected and safe to do so as we move through them. Ammonite also helps to abate feelings of unworthiness or depression and really helps us connect to ourselves. And not only that, to our ancestors and the higher realms. And as we are minimizing those negative feelings that can really bring us down emotionally and connecting to these higher realms, we're then amplifying our feelings of optimism and hope, not only for ourselves, but for the future of the world. This fossil helps to amplify feelings of inspiration and the act of being inspired by the world around us and what's inside as well as influencing our creativity and our connection to that creative flow and the way we tap into the creative frequency as a whole. It helps to bring the divine inspiration that we find out in the world and create something tangible that we can utilize in reality, whether it is through writing or through sculpting or through painting or through movement or however your spice of life is, that artistic flow, however it flows through you. Ammonite helps to bring that potential and make it something real. Overall, this fossil influences and increases inner peace and self assurity and self confidence and self esteem and just our decisiveness with where we're going in our path. Again, that connection to ourselves really amplifies what we want and especially to how to identify what we don't want so we can focus more on what we do want and follow that side rather than, paying too much attention to what isn't working. Again, I cannot recommend ammonite enough. If you have never worked with this fossil, it's something that can truly change your life for the better without being too disruptive in the way that, moldavites or other really transformative stones are. So the final crystal I want to discuss today is rose quartz. And I don't know if you guys saw this one coming, but again, cancers, we can take on a lot of heavy emotional turmoil throughout our lives. And because the emotions can be so deep, sometimes it's hard for us to feel through everything the way we need to in order to release them. And rose quartz gives us that strength to dive into our emotional center, locate and acknowledge the wounds that still are present from, it could have been past in this life or past lifetimes. Bring them up so we can release them and heal them the way they need to be so we can then make space for more love to not only come in, but also go out as well. Rose quartz gives Cancer the strength to love openly without any barrier around their hearts despite past hurts. So they can be that loving, open, beautiful self that they have been brought to this earth to be. Rose quartz really offers us an opportunity to pick ourselves back up after heavy loss or heavy hurts. It helps to cradle us as we move through the healing process so we are no longer afraid to emerge out. We're not afraid of being hurt again. Cancers can put up this protective barrier around themselves and hide themselves away from the world after deep emotional loss or pain or hurt. While rose quartz helps us understand that heartbreak and pain, it's all a part of life. It's a part of the cycle. And if we shut ourselves away because we are feeling hurt, because we're in pain, we disrupt that cycle. We stop love from being able to come in. So rose quartz gives us that strength to say, yes, I've been hurt and I know I'm going to be hurt again, but I'm still going to emerge and be the love that I crave, be the love that I want to see in the world. And actually, that just reminded me I have a tattoo that says, let love be alive. And that is what rose quartz offers. It says, in the face of the deepest hurts of your life, you can reemerge and you will be protected and you will find love again and again and again. It is such a poetic and beautiful stone to work with. And I highly recommend it, not only for cancers, but for all water signs who do move through those emotional barriers quite a lot. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. And I definitely encourage you, if you see these stones out in the wild, pick one up, whether it's jewelry or, the palm stones, however it resonates for you, however you find it. Highly recommend. And of course, just make sure you're buying from reputable sources. Obviously, since spirituality and crystals have gone kind of mainstream, there's a lot of, unreliable sources out there. So just do your research and make sure you're supporting the good ones. And of course, if there are other stones out there, there will be many, many more that resonate with your frequency, with the energies you want to invite into your life. So be adventurous, explore what you find and, what feels right for you. Oh, I just got chills. Confirmation. So look out for those chills with your clairsentient beings. Yeah, and be well. I wish you guys so much love and goodness and happiness and healing. Oh my God, Cancers, you guys are beautiful. Don't ever forget it.